Today we're going to make a background fence for our cemetery. But first I just want to make you aware that if you're working in areas where there's a tap nearby, you just need to be very careful and maybe check where the tap is in comparison to where the water meter is so that you have an idea of where the line is going. Most lines wouldn't be as close to the surface as mine, but being careful might help you to avoid having to call the plumber. There was some concrete just underneath the soil next to the brick pillar that prevented me from being able to put the stake in as close as I wanted to, so I had to just opt for bringing it out a bit to enable me to make a stable support. I'm going to put the first stake of the lawn in about here, and I can be fairly confident that I'm going to miss that line. And then I'll put more stakes in going over to here. So this divides into a nice round number, 3,600 millimetres or 360 centimetres. So that will divide nicely into 90 centimetres between each stake going across. So you can see here that I have a pool noodle. This has been used before. I've got a few lengths of them, and what I do is I just place them over the stake, and you can see here where the stake was inserted last year, and anything that is hanging over the edge, we just connect them all together with some clear packing tape. I noticed that it was looking a bit floppy on the end, and there was nothing to support it, and except for that stake here, but it was flopping down here, and I thought if I hang something over the top of that, that's just going to sag. So what I did was I got a bit inventive, and I found a garden stake, one of the shorter ones that I use for the shorter fence, and I put it through the hole, that centre hole that you find in the pool noodles, and I just left it overhanging a bit, and now it's resting on the crossover beam of the permanent fencing here. So that's solved my problem, and now all I have to do is cover it up. Okay, so starting with this end here, what I did, there's no garden stake here, but I just wrapped that there tightly. I could have done a ratchet strap all the way around here, which probably would have been better, but I didn't have one long enough to go around it. So if you want to plan to do this, you might want to get some long ratchet straps as well. And there's nothing to tie it to down there, so I've just weighted that down with a small paver. One ratchet strap there to tie this one to the garden stake, and I have this one in the centre that's tying front and back together. The reason why it's not down the bottom is because it stops here. So we're just holding that one secure. Now this one here, I have a ratchet strap there. What I did to try to make these holes is I poked some closed scissors through the folds so that I could put the ratchet strap through. And I'm hoping that this is going to weigh everything down. So there's another ratchet strap up the top. One here. And one here. Here's another one on the end that goes right round the post, and because it's the end, I've also strapped it to the post here. And if the wind blows it in the background, because this front fold is pretty loose, that's going to look all right. That's going to look good for Halloween. It'll look spooky.
Thanks for watching and have a very happy Halloween.